Britain is where the action is for the return of the hard men. I think Sam Fender, the singer-songwriter, he goes really hard. He's got a great song called A. I don't think it was released as a single. He's talking about they watched the kids go to Epstein's bed and a whole lot of other things. AYE, he's a Newcastle lad, I think. That's how they talk up there, and so it goes really hard. Pitchfork reviewers didn't like it. They said it was incoherent, but it's actually very coherent. They don't like a bit of reality being foisted in their faces. Really strong, hard song, and he talked also. He's talking about Epstein, and he's also talking about the media grooming people against Corbyn. So he's using the groomer angle and the Epstein angle. So he's just straight out calling these people the nonces that they are, especially the media. We know in the Anglo media, sort of Rod Little, he said couldn't be a school teacher because he couldn't keep his hands off the girls, and they published that. That's how open they are about their sort of perversions over there, the noncery, Rod Little, and yeah, and you see this in like the Integrity Initiative, why they chose several men with quote unorthodox unquote private lives. Paul Canning, I think his name is, a blogger. Um, David Aronovich, a notorious sort of individual from writes for the Times. Um, James Ball, um, unorthodox private lives, and that's who the deep state sort of picked. But so he's calling that and goes out really hard. He goes against wokeness too. This ID politics, the new left that is driving that, the liberals, the corporate liberalism that's driving all this identitarian stuff, transgender stuff, and the woke kids are dickheads. He says just really hard. He goes really hard. Elton John's been hanging around him. I watched the YouTube clip on Lorraine, morning show host over there. He gave the reasons why I didn't do the Ariana Grande. Didn't want to be just the boy in the film clip. He's a very attractive man. Sam, and it's just like he's like the embodiment of a new type of man. He's fantastic. Really enjoying his stuff. The sort of you see the Springsteen elements, and I'm not a fan of Springsteen, but this guy manages to sort of do it a bit better than old Bruce. So he's a man. He's one of the hard men. He's uncompromising. Also seen Mick Lynch leading the unions over there, strikes and a lot of internal trouble. And he's a hard man too. He just won't take their nonsense. He refuses to take it lying down. And you get these sort of mad women and people like Piers Morgan, sort of effeminate sort of men, and talking gibberish to him and nonsense, and he just rejects it. He's amused by it, poor old Mick. He's had to put up with a lot of garbage from the elite Anglo-Tory media there. So Mick is uncompromising, and two hard men that's just emerged into the public spotlight. Mick just in the last year, and Sam Fender just in 2019, his first album, I think. Might have done an EP behind that, before that. So we're seeing the hard men re-emerge. And I'm not a hard man. I'm not a tough man. I went hard at a couple of people. The Anglos and got into a bit of a drama. But they've got to understand that that's not how it's always been. Like I said, this sort of 40 odd years of complete neoliberal and Tory domination, capitalist domination we've seen since the fall of the Soviet Union, and the neoliberalism and the like from the early 80s, 79 over there, Thatcher. The complete domination, people have lived their whole lives under this. It's just assumption that the underclass and the wretched of the earth will just take it, but that's not how it's been, has it? As I said, but I'm not a hard man. I saw Riley sort of mess a couple of things up on the countdown. There's a Norwegian bloke, I think, Bjorn Gumboldt. Post clips of our show with Lily and countdown over there, both types, and the French version. The most recent ones have the kids on it. Don't mind that. No subtitles, so I haven't dug too far into that. But countdown, they're having a really big series. They've got all the creme de la creme of the last few seasons. Some guy, Ahmed or Abdul or whatever his name is, looks like a Somali, I think. And he got 122 points. Yesterday's game, this guy just posts the numbers. And Riley was been missing quite a few. Just the videos I watched, some really hard ones and some not so hard ones. So a bit of a mythology there for her. But then I did feel bad for her because she messed one up and she was sort of really upset about it. And I felt really bad for her, even though it's her job and, she's getting paid well to do it, just to do one job or two jobs, flipping the letters and doing the sums. But so it's sort of on one way, though. She's got no empathy for me, or generally for the underclass and just normal people. But it's one-way traffic, isn't it? That's how it is. Sort of fascistic and sort of Nazi, sort of Tory, sort of elite sort of individuals, bourgeois sort of people. We're supposed to feel sort of empathy with them, but it doesn't run the other way, does it? It's all one-way traffic. But that's why I'm not really a hard man. I would sort of gloat, but I couldn't. I felt bad. I felt really sad because she seemed a bit sort of torn up by it, missing a few. But maybe I can harden up a little bit. I've been going hard occasionally at people. It doesn't come naturally to me, but I think Sam and Mick over there are really hardened sort of characters, and they could take things a long way. Sam's got to keep going with his career, keep pushing harder and harder. He's had a couple of successful albums, but he's got to keep going. I think he's 28, 29 this year. And Mick should be PM over there. Corbyn is not enough. Corbyn's too polite, too docile, sort of too aristocratic. Bit of a Fabian dilettante, as Phil Greaves might say. Not hard enough, but we're seeing a return of the hard man. And I can harden up a little bit too. So this is an interesting development and a rare positive one in the modern world.